Hey friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be learning about drawing in 1-point perspective. And this is a drawing challenge, okay? Now, what is 1-point perspective? Essentially, 1-point perspective is a drawing method that shows how things appear to get smaller as they get further away. Before we get started, I'm going to hit you up with a little montage of pictures just so you guys can get an idea of what 1-point perspective looks like in a variety of ways. Alright, so we got some cute trees here, 1-point perspective, 1-point perspective. Oh, you thought your video games could include art, 1-point perspective. Look at this cute little railroad, 1-point perspective. A bunch of old dudes in a Renaissance painting talking about something important, 1-point perspective. An aquarium, 1-point perspective. This sweet little road, 1-point perspective. And if you're old school like me and you know what this is, hit me up, 1-point perspective. Luckily, all you will need for this challenge is a pencil, a piece of paper, and a ruler. You don't have to have a ruler, but it's cool if you do. Okay, so how many of you, when you're asked to draw a house, draw something that looks like this? I mean, whoa, not so hot, right? It's not that it's bad, it's just not necessarily great. And it doesn't have a whole lot of three-dimensionality. Now, if you're starting out, learning your shapes and everything, that's not bad. But if you want it to look 3D and a little bit more realistic, you're gonna have to do a lot of other things. Luckily, it's a whole lot easier than it actually sounds, and I'll be showing you how to draw in 1-point perspective so you can draw any building you want, like ever. Okay, so this is my example of 1-point perspective drawing. This is based off of a really old vintage 1960s concept art sketch from Disney of their haunted house. Technically, the original sketch is done in 2-point perspective, which we'll talk about next week. So before you guys do the challenge, you need to actually learn how to draw in 1-point perspective. So that's what we're going to do right now is we're going to draw some boxes, some 3-dimensional boxes in 1-point perspective. The first thing that you need to do is draw a horizon line, which is where the sky meets the sea. Do this with a ruler though, because otherwise it's probably not going to look super fantastic. The next thing that we need to do is we need to draw our boxes. Now, you can have any size of box that you want, but don't make it super huge. Make sure there's one box drawn at the horizon line, above the horizon line, and below the horizon line. That's really important. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the vanishing point. Now, the vanishing point can sit anywhere on the horizon line, but we're going to put ours in the center, okay? Just think of the vanishing point as where all lines go into. It's like the black hole. Okay, so the next thing we're going to draw is we're going to draw converging lines. Now that's just a fancy way of saying that we're drawing a line from the corner of our box to the vanishing point, that black hole we were talking about. And that's going to give us that 3-dimensionality that we're looking for. Now, I'm not drawing a convergent line from every single corner of the box because obviously I don't have X-ray vision and I can't see every single side of that box. I'm only drawing on the corners of the sides that I'm going to be able to see. So if I were standing right there in the center of my paper, those are the sides I'm going to see. Now, after I'm done drawing converging lines, I'm going to draw horizontal and vertical lines to cut off those boxes where I want them to. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a light source because that informs me where the shadows and the highlights on my boxes are going to be. Your light source can be from wherever you want, but I'm just going to put mine in the left-hand corner. Now thinking about that light source, I'm going to shade my boxes for where the shadows are going to be and where the light won't hit, right? So the bottom of the box, the back of the boxes, depending upon where your light source is, your shadows might be in different places than mine, but you need to make sure that the light source is hitting in the correct spot. Okay, now that I've shown you how to draw in 1-point perspective, I'm going to show you how I drew that haunted house illustration using 1 point perspective, right? So I put down my horizon line, I put down my vanishing point on the right hand corner. Like I said, that vanishing point can be anywhere, right? And all my lines are gonna go towards that vanishing point, that black hole. So now that I have made converging lines, I am now cutting off or sectioning off parts of my box to make the outside of the house. So when I draw lines to the roof, I'm still making sure that that line goes towards the vanishing point. The other part will obviously just be completing the triangle. I'm just speeding up the process a little here because I already showed you how to use 1 point perspective to get the basic shapes of your house down. Now I'm just adding all the fun details, which to be honest is the best part of doing any drawing. And voila, the final product. A few more details, but hey. Now, like I showed you guys in the beginning with all those pictures, 1 point perspective doesn't have to just be used to make a home. The point of 1 point perspective is to create a better three-dimensionality for your drawing and to give it a sense of space. That being said, the challenge is to find a picture, a photograph, an illustration, or use your imagination to come up with a building that you can draw in 1 point perspective. Remember what we talked about with the exercise, and if you need to go back at any time, pause it or whatever, go ahead and do that. I look forward to seeing your guys' artwork. Please post them to Seesaw, please, and I can't wait to see it.